Hi. Today I have been busy doing nothing that is actually like important, but I've been enjoying myself, so that's important. Um, yeah, I didn't have any sort of deadlines I needed to meet today, and I was feeling inspired to redecorate my room, so I started. And look at this awesome hat I found in the process. Um, this hat is from junior high. I had a school presentation thing where I had to wear a historical outfit. And this was so I forget what exactly the criteria was, but we had to pick some sort of historical outfit from the time period we were studying. And so I picked an outfit that was from, it was what ladies would have worn to go riding out into public and, display their equestrian finest apparel. And so this was a ladies' riding hat from whatever period of time we were studying at the time. So had the beautiful long ribbon and the feather. And anyway, I still have it. It's gets stuck in the closet and I still have it. And it's snazzy, isn't it? I love this hat. So it has had many rebirths into other costumes since then. But anyway, found this while I was reorganizing my room, and so I'm wearing it. So I thought I would show you my project for the day. If you are on my Instagram, I posted a picture of part of it already, but not all of it. So I've been thinking about doing this for like a week. I've been kind of playing around with where I was going to put things in my mind on, like what would look good where. But all of the things that I was thinking about hanging, which I'll show you in a moment, were also buried in the closet. And it was a lot of work they weren't together. They were in lots of different little boxes. And so I keep each year of writing, I have a box for that year, like a shoebox, that I put the various mementos and postcards and stuff from the year. I put them in the box. So each year has its own box. And then other odds and ends that aren't from the ride that I hung up were, of course, other places. So, there was a lot of searching and organizing and stuff that went into my project today. And I kind of wish I could have showed you a before and after picture. So I'll show you, but you can just imagine what it looked like before. So I'm going to let's start with the least exciting part first. That wall back there with the futon and the coat rack where it's all blank, that's what I'm working on next, but I didn't get to it in time to do the video today. So that is going to be my my hat wall. I'm going to hang up hats there, or at least hopefully it looks good. That's what I'm going to do, and I hope it looks okay. But that's my plan for that wall. It's going to be hats. So it used to have some pictures hanging in it. You could see them in the background in previous videos that I've done. So now 2 of those pictures are right there, or they're really actually shadow boxes. So see if I can do this without dropping the tablet. So can you see my hand? Here we go. This one here, this lower one, is from my trip to India. That was in 2014, I think I went to India. So that's pictures and little trinkets from India. And then the one above it is from 2015. That's my shadow box from when my mom and I did an Avon 39-mile walk for breast cancer fundraising. And so it's we actually did it in 2016 too, but I wasn't going to make two shadow boxes. They would have been almost identical. So anyway, that's our first year of doing it together. And they used to be on the wall back in that corner, and now they're up here. And so you can see there's my desk. So odds and ends on my desk, and then I've got my motivational poster, and I just hung up my Death Valley poster and postcards that are so pretty. And so I used to have some other stuff hanging over my bed, but I didn't really like it. It was a tiny picture and a whole lot of white wall, and it just looked imbalanced, but I could never figure out what I wanted to put there. And so now I have my beautiful Death Valley art up there from when I went to Death Valley a year ago. So, not with Apollo. So there's my Death Valley wall. And so that's so pretty. And so much nicer than what it was before, although you never saw that, so you'll have to trust me on that. And then over here, my cord gonna reach? Okay, so over here, this is kind of weird. I have a bookcase of food in my room. It's a complicated story. But anyway, a lot of the food that I have on hand, I don't keep it in the kitchen. All my non-perishables, so that's why there's food on the shelf. But I pulled out all my cookbooks that had been in my closet. I had a few of them out, but I pulled them out. So now have all my cookbooks here. I just love cookbooks. A lot of them I've never even used. I just like reading them and looking at the pictures and thinking about making things. And there's way more things in there that I want to cook and eat than I will ever be able to get to in my life, I think. But anyway, now they're all out for me to look at and enjoy and peruse when I'm looking for inspiration for what to cook for the upcoming week. And then I added here, this is my spice rack on the wall up here. There we go, up there. That's my spice rack. I added here, I had a chalkboard that was just blank, and I used to write on it, well, different things over the course of the years. But for a long time it was blank because I had nothing to write on it. But I just wrote my current favorite inspirational quote on there, which is, "When a great adventure is offered, you don't refuse it." And that's Amelia Earhart said that, and I think that's a great motto to live by. So put that up there to remind myself to always take whatever adventures come my way when I'm not making my own. But here's the big project for the day. I took my blank, this is all just nothing, just a big blank space, just white closet walls, and I hung up things. And so I have on here every postcard that I've ever mailed back for my parents, but also then they give them back to me when I come home once they've enjoyed them, and I keep them. So all my postcards from the ride and from other places that I've been. I've got one up there from China. I've got one up there from Hawaii. And then I also have the longer things that, like this one is, those are all things from national parks, national monuments, and national rivers and other federal lands that you can go and visit, and they have a little map inside usually, but they also are decorative for part of the map. So I hung up the decorative part of the map. And then I've got a lot of little stickers that I've collected around travels, and a couple other odds and ends, like this here was given to me when I rode through Pocatello, Idaho. I went through a reservation, some tribal land there, and I had been in the local paper, and they one of the people who lived there had read about it and made me this, and then drove around until he found me. There weren't very many rows to choose from, so he found me pretty easy, I think. But he made that just for me. It represents the four corners, and so it's sacred symbol, and so really special. So it's been just in my closet, which is sad, but I didn't have any, I could never figure out where to put it. So now it's up here on my big closet. So I really like how this turned out. Move it back a little so you can see that, the whole thing. There you go. So I really like how this turned out. It was just fun to hang everything up and look at all this stuff. Most of it's from the ride, but not all of it. I've got oh, you can't see my finger here. The little sticker there is from a restaurant in Seattle. I've got Voodoo Donuts over here. This is from New York, this big poster here from Fort Stanwix. There's my little China section here from when I went to China. And got the Pittsburgh Steelers football field up there. Got a rhino up there from Ohio. And where is it? There's a big cat. There's a tiger here from Nebraska. So, and a candy wrapper. This it's from Erie, Pennsylvania. And it's from a chocolate shop. I think it's called Polacco's. And it's all different scenes from Erie. There's the lake and some stuff from the town. And it's just such a pretty wrapper that I saved it. And it looks like kind of a mini postcard. So got that hanging up there. It's back over there. Yeah, it's the end over there. So anyway, that's what I've been working on today. And I'm really happy with it. I've been staring at the blank closet doors wanting to put something on it for probably years, but was never able to think of anything that would look good there. I thought about various maps, but I'd have to buy them. And so I was not that inspired to put up like old historic maps or something. I think those look cool, but I don't own any. So anyway, I really like how this turned out. It took me a long time. I thought it was just going to be pretty quick once I got everything pulled out, because it was, you know, just in several boxes. And it took like all day. So it's okay. I was enjoying myself. I listened to the Hamilton musical, original Broadway cast recording, and sang along to that. Got all warmed up and lyrics refreshed in my mind, because if you are a Hamilton fan and haven't heard yet, or if you're not a Hamilton fan and don't know about it and want to see what this is all about, tomorrow at, I think it's 8 o'clock Eastern time, but you can Google it, I don't remember for sure. There's going to be a live stream on YouTube of the original Hamilton Broadway cast singing, and you can sing along at home, and that's the whole thing, is they call it Ham at Home, Hamilton sing along. And so you can tune in on YouTube and sing along. So I'm so excited. I'm going to do that tomorrow. And so I was listening to it today to like get psyched up for it. Not that I need to get psyched up for it, but anyway. So yeah, that's been the entirety of my day. And so yeah. Anybody watching have any comments or questions for me, or thoughts or random things you're doing? So the deal with doing this today was I thought I'd work on it for a couple hours and just kind of play with it a little bit. Oh, Joy said hi. Hi, Joy. I see your comment this time. And that one. So this morning I had zero motivation to do anything. When I first woke up, I was just like, meh, there's no point in getting out of bed today. I have things that I could work on, but nothing I have to work on, and nothing I want to work on, and I'm just gonna not get up, and I'm gonna skip breakfast, and I'm gonna read my book and hide in bed. But then I got hungry, and so my stomach won, and I got up and had breakfast, and then I actually managed to get the motivation out of somewhere deep inside of me to do a little bit of exercise. And then I felt a lot better. I think it really is true what I've heard a lot, that if you exercise, it helps you feel better through the day. And so I'm trying to now do that first thing, either right before or right after breakfast, depending on how hungry I am, if I can wait to eat till after I exercise. And I felt so much better. And all I did was maybe 10 minutes. I think it was like 2 songs. So maybe not even 10 minutes of push-ups, sit-ups, squats, and a little bit of easy weights, arm curls and stuff. So weights for my arms. And I felt so good afterwards. I was like, yeah, now I'm gonna redecorate my whole room. It was kind of funny that was what I was motivated to do, but whatever. So yeah, that was how that came about, because I'm sure you were not actually curious, but that's all I have to say about it. So if no one has any other comments for me, I am gonna sign off. Oh no, I did have one more thing to say. I have been seeing a lot of places about people starting to stress out about needing a haircut, and I just have to say that I think that is one of the funniest. Like, I know it's a real thing. Like, of course people need a haircut, but Georgetta, I see your comment. I'll answer that in a second. Like, of all the things to be worried about right now, I just think it's kind of amusing. Of course, I'm used to not being able to get my hair cut the second I want it to be cut, because when I'm traveling, I can't necessarily get to a barber or a hair salon or whatever quickly or easily when I'm traveling with Apollo. And so sometimes I have to go weeks longer than I'd like to. So, like, I know how stressful it can be when you just really feel like you can't stand it and you need to get your hair cut, and you can't. So I get it, but it's also just kind of amusing me. So anyway, I also need a haircut, but whatever. Kathy says, I love your hats. Well, thank you. Georgetta asks, given the current pandemic situation, do you have a tentative plan to get back on the road? No. Well, kind of. Like, my plan... Well, okay, so I have a plan. The plan is to watch the situation and decide as it progresses. But as far as, I don't think that's quite what you meant. As a plan, no, I don't have a schedule. I don't have an idea yet of when I will be able to start riding. So at this point, I have to settle for just enjoying my postcards and whatnot from previous years and think about all the cool places that I will see when I eventually get back on the road, but that's not yet. So yeah, I will definitely post when I have a plan. My plane tickets were for the middle of May, but I highly doubt that that will be a safe time to travel, and I will put off traveling till it is safe. So yeah, she says, we want you and Apollo to stay safe. That's my concern. Yeah, it's mine too. And so I'm definitely waiting both for the health risk to subside and also for people to calm down and life to get back to normal, because this is not... You know, I'm all for sheltering in place and not spreading germs and stuff, but there's more to it than that too. Like, it would just be extremely difficult, even if I could safely travel for health reasons, which obviously I can't, but if it was even possible, it would just be crazy right now to try to ride a horse everywhere. So, no, I'm just waiting for everything to get back to some level of normal, and then I'll decide what the acceptable level of normal is at that time, and then I'll start riding. So I will have to change my plane tickets probably, but I don't know until when yet. So that means I also don't know how far I will travel this year. So if it's delayed more than early June for school reasons, I would probably at that point push it off until July. Hopefully by July everything is I hope by July everything's normal enough again. But if it's not, then I'll just wait longer. So that's how it is. And hopefully I can ride in July or August or something. And if that's not possible and I get a whole year lost in the schedule, that's okay too. That would kind of be aggravating, but not the worst problem that's happening in the world right now. So take it in stride and keep some perspective. So anyway, that's my very extended thoughts on my travel plans. It's I've heard that some projections say the peak of the how many new cases there are per day, it hopefully in some areas, but not everywhere, will be this month. But some places may not peak until next month. And that's a projection, so they don't really know. That's an educated guess. But I would need it to be safe all of the places that I would be traveling, which is different in the cities versus the rural areas for the most part. Rural areas tend to get it a little bit later, so the peak is a little bit later, so I do have to keep that in mind. Also, obviously I couldn't travel as soon as we're past the peak. It's still really bad at that point. I have to wait for, right now the cases are going up and up and up, and so we're going to get up to the peak of increasing cases per day, and then it'll start being a little fewer cases and a little fewer cases per day, but there will still be a lot of cases. And so then we have to wait for it to get back down to very few cases per day, and then I can start. So yeah, who knows? I don't have a magic answer, but I am keeping an eye on the news and keeping an eye on the charts and the data and projections. So anyway, any other questions before I sign off for the day? Oh, excuse me. So I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. We'll see what I am feeling motivated for in the morning. Hopefully I'll have my empty corner all done to show you, but maybe I won't feel like working on it for a few days. Who knows? My strategy right now is stay informed and stay sane and try to just not get depressed, not get like angry or any sort of other unhealthy sort of emotions, and just try to deal with those when they come up and just try to do things that make me smile, and hopefully they've made you smile today too. Let's see. For those of you who are just joining, hi Kim. And Ina says, what room am I in? So if you're just joining in, I'm in my bedroom and this is my project for the day. So go back and watch from the beginning as soon as I finish this video. And it's my formerly blank closet walls, and I've put up all sorts of trinkets and souvenirs on it. So it's decorated now and makes me happy. And Joy adds, what does your chalkboard say? I missed it. My chalkboard over here says, when a great adventure, I can't read it backwards. When a great adventure is offered, you don't refuse it. It's an Amelia Earhart quote. So, yeah. So I'll be back tomorrow at 4 o'clock Pacific, which is 5 Mountain, 6 Central, and 7 Eastern time. And I will have something else that I've done to keep myself happy and entertained for the day, and hopefully you do too. And if you ever have any cool things you're doing or whatever, drop a comment and we can chat about it. I always love new ideas for fun things to do, so, or whatever, things to make you smile. So anyway, until tomorrow.